Icelandic movie. This is our first Icelandic movie, I think.
It is our first.
One year after a violent eruption of the subglacial volcano Katla, which is actually a real volcano, I found out, the peace and tranquility of the small town of Vik, I think it is,
V-I-K.
is just dramatically disturbed. But they say Vik when they say it. They're like,
Yeah,
oh, how long have you been in Vik? Oh, and I also found out that the actors in this movie did the English dub as well, which I listened to because...
Oh,
what can I say? I was being lazy.
You listened to a dub of this?
Icelandic language is very rough. Have you noticed that? It's rough on the ears. It's a lot of consonants.
It is.
It's hard. I can't do it.
It sort of makes German look like it was spoken by pacifists.
Plus, I wanted to focus on the visuals because this was really pretty. This was a really nice looking sci-fi.
It was bizarre looking. I mean,
the description? That's what got me. The description of revenge. Oh, watch out. This has revenge, bad language, nudity, and smoking. I'm like, yes, this is going to be awesome. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
It has an amazing look. I don't know how they, I mean, unless the volcano itself unless there's a town that actually looks like this. Right.
Well, I think doesn't Iceland look kind of scary already?
Yeah, it does. But this is really this 3/4 destroyed, right?
Yeah.
You know, and I was wondering if there was a town that was like that because it didn't look like art, like it was done by art department. I tell you that.
Right, I was wondering that. Yeah, especially where you had the cars that were buried in the ash and stuff.
Well, and every car was like just completely inundated with ash
and the snow.
Right?
They did a really good job. If they covered the snow, they did an amazing job because that was like,
if they did. We used to use ground up charcoal and sand blasting machines to kind of give us that kind of charcoal look on things. I don't know what the hell they did. They just did so much of it. I mean, it kind of created a very black and white feel for the film, black and gray. You know, it's sort
and then
of.
They'd have somebody walk in with like a red sweater.
Right. Exactly. It was like, wow, man. But the story. Yeah. Oh my God. And the way that it's filmed and the acting in it is just so weird.
And the tone is very, I mean, so they set the tone on early on, but like the setting definitely adds to that. But the way that
not only the setting,
it.
but the thing is they do this thing. It's sort of reminds me of, that you're in space on a Star Trek, when you can feel the machine, you can feel the ship moving. Shaking, right? Yeah. There's that low down rumble, and they did the same thing here.
Yeah.
You know, the mountain in the background just gives everything this low rumble all the time. Just really cool.
Well, it's kind of also how they talk. I mean,
well, yeah, it's the same thing. Well, that's that. See, the thing is they all learned to speak volcano.
well, yeah. Well, apparently it's a real volcano, and it's like it means kettle. Because I looked up what Katla means, and it's like there's a real volcano in Iceland. Oh, look, it's shaking. But anyway, there's a real volcano in Iceland, and it's called Katla, I guess, and it's kettle, is what hot kettle or whatever it's supposed to mean.
Such a cool. I mean, really, you have to see this series because it just.
Yeah. While I watched the first three, and I was like. The one thing that really struck me though was like how odd everybody's acting. Like it's like they're dreaming because they're just kind of reacting weird. Like it's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Right.
But
exactly.
My dad's son walks in and I'm like, oh, what you doing?
Yeah. Hey.
You want a sandwich?
Hey. Yeah.
It's like it's just weird how they're so nonchalant about it. And then the lady in the hospital, they don't ask her like the question you would probably ask, like what year is it? But who's president?
But here's the thing.
I think Iceland has a president.
It's part of the charm. It's part of the charm of it. It's part of the ambience of it is that they're not letting you in on anything. You know, and everybody keeps getting the different pieces of information, and it is just wacky. The
I
more
do like
people
the
that
fact
show
that the
up,
whole town is gone, except for this
right?
little group that's
Yeah,
there.
right. Just this little group, and that you can't get in and out of it very easily.
And then, I mean, really, you don't recognize yourself? I mean, come on. I mean, come on. If my 20-year-old self walked in, I'd say, "Hey, it's me."
Hey, yeah. It's there is there's just so much. There's so much. I like
But
my
shouldn't
big
people freak out? Like, oh, it's
no.
literally.
I mean,
Wouldn't you be
I
freaking
mean,
out?
or ask, or you know what? The thing is what you really want is you want to see somebody just start to lay down and go, okay, wait a minute.
What the hell's going on?
You disappeared for 1 year. You disappeared for 20. I want to know all about you. I want to know all about what you did. I want to know why the goats keep coming back. I want to know what the raven. I want to know how the raven comes in and out.
Yes, that's weird.
And and here's the other thing is the rules don't totally make sense.
No.
You know, that's but it's great because then I remember, oh, there are no rules to this.
Well, and this is a story that's been done before, but I like how it's done differently, where you don't know why people are acting like this and why.
Yeah, you just don't.
It's not like a Twilight Zone episode where you kind of expect this stuff to happen all the time.
Well, I have to say that I just love that the whole thing at the end of episode 3 leaves us with a woman sitting in a car in the middle of Reykjavik.
Yeah.
In the middle of traffic. Right? You're like, okay, holy shit.
Well, it also does pretty good. Like, they focus on one character at a time, pretty much. I mean, because if you look at every episode, there's like one character that's kind of the focus.
Yeah.
Like the last one I saw was Mother. Motherhood or whatever.
Yeah, it is incredibly. It's incredibly addictive. My wife. I sat down there. I started watching them this morning, and my wife rolled her eyes so far that I think that she almost cut off the optic nerve, and goes, "Oh, you're watching one of these," and I started to watch it, and she sat there with the computer in front of her, you know, like she was gonna do busy work and write those emails, you know.
Like I was during Railroad Tigers. I was like, what can I do?
Right.
What can I do?
No. I did that one earlier. No, this was all during this. But I remember her hands like this.
She's
just like, her eyes roll up. Her hands are like in the I'm going to pounce on the computer position, and then they stayed there like that. She looked at me about a half an hour later, and I said, "Are you going to type something?" She goes, "I don't think I'm going to get to it." And she finally put her hands down. It was just looking right at the TV, and she goes, at the end of it, she goes, "And I thought I was going to get something done."
Well, no, I think Icelandic people do things differently, obviously. So I wasn't expecting this to be. Actually, I wasn't really expecting it to be interesting either.
I'm telling you, the thing that's really cool about it is that the acting doesn't seem like it comes from a purely Western point of view, right?
No.
There's something very foreign.
So if there was a Invasion of the Body Snatchers done in Europe, they'd be like, "Oh, that's interesting.
Oh,
well,
oh,
I should put my scone down."
but there would be more tension. There's more tension in the word yes than any phrase that you can say here.
There's only one person that's freaked out at this, kind of, and that was the guy.
Oh, the guy with the sun thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Yes. He looked upset. Right. And we don't know yet why.
I think he had to go to the bathroom. Because he was just he wasn't upset, like freaking out, like crying.
Yeah,
he was just like, "Oh,
he was just
I think I'm constipated." Kind of that look. It was like...
exactly. Yeah, no, no.
So even with the people being dumb and the not really, I mean, they're all dumb basically, and then the fact that they're calmly trying to figure stuff out, kind of casually, like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe we should talk about that. I don't know. It's like that kind of bothers me. And the one major thing that really bothers me is that I haven't really connected with anybody. Like usually you can find some character.
Yeah,
that you
no,
like.
you're right. Absolutely right. But at the same time, you sort of have a feel for all these people, but you just wish that they just would.
It feels like I'm on the outside looking in. I'm not connecting with anybody, so I'm not part of it. I'm just kind of looking at them.
Exactly. But you want them to all sit down and have a mass therapy situation.
I want to slap them all and say, "Do you know what's happening? This is weird. Haven't you noticed this is weird?
You know, this is
not normal.
This is very upsetting."
Yeah, there needs to be a therapist, like on that Alien show we watched.
Yes, exactly. It's actually kind of what I was thinking. Yes.
But I think this is better than average, and I would give it a pretty decent rating, actually.
I would go with a 3.8 for this because I really loved it. I mean,
I was close. I was like 3.5 or 6, so 3.6 is kind of where I am.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep watching. I'm gonna keep watching to the end with this one because at least with this one, I don't have to get a whole brand new subscription to something else to get beyond the third episode.
I know it's so when is that gonna end? Because it's getting ridiculous with all these different services, like pulling all their stuff off Netflix and then like starting their own service.
Right, exactly. You know that concept does not bode well.
No,
you know, because the next thing you know is instead of being able to drop the $150 subscribers, the $150 cable service to get $80 worth of separate subscriber services, you're going to want to go back to the cable system because your subscribers are costing you about $15,000 a week.
You're right. Yes.
Yeah, just to watch one show.
And plus it gets really confusing. You're like, what's on what? Where I can't remember where that is.
It kind of reminds me of like when I did Behind the Screams when I wrote it and pulling people together, you know, just trying to like find people and knowing that this was the age of communication, right? But you had to know exactly how everybody communicated with the world,
what format?
Right?
Yes.
What format? I mean, you know.
I hate that, by the way, because I'm definitely not a Facebook Messenger guy.
Well, the thing is you got to look. You know, some people are only Twitter people, and some people are only TikTok people, and some people are you know hardcore. I only have a landline. You know,
or text only,
or oh god, yeah, it just goes on and on.
Then you got those losers from the '80s and the back in the day that only take phone calls.
Yes, exactly. And you know, and you get down to people like I noticed this is there were still stuntmen when you got stuntmen. There was a I think it was a service called Jonies. Right. And Joni would track you down, you know, because this was based back in the day. Joni would be the one that would track you. It was literally a person.
Right? Oh, really?
And you could, and her job was just to be on the phone 24 hours a day. Right. And you would call and she would be the service. Right.
Wow.
And then she would go and she would track them down. You know, or if they were on set or if they were in the middle of a stunt, you know, if she would actually determine your level of importance.
Wow.
Right.
That's interesting.
But, you know, the weird thing is they were still kind of based around that one form of communication, like up until like 2010 or something. It was crazy.
Wow.
You were like, oh, come on. Really?
Well, I've gotten in trouble for texting somebody. When they sent me a message on Facebook, I texted them and they got mad. I'm like, well, whatever.
Yeah,
at least I got back to you.
I know. It's just, it's nothing to drive you down.
But I had Facebook Messenger. I downloaded it for a while and it was just draining my battery. I took it off and my phone's been great ever since. So I only do Facebook Messenger if I'm logged in, which is very rare that I'm on Facebook.
Yeah, but you're the hardest goddamn human being to get a hold of in the world anyway. You know what? You really have nothing to say in this part of the conversation.
You know, I missed it. I missed the 80s and 90s where nobody had cell phones. Maybe they had a beeper. And I could just disappear. And if I needed to call somebody, I'd find a payphone or something and call collect.
Yeah, well, that ain't right.
Hey, I'm calling. This is Kurt calling. You see, if it was back then, you'd be getting a lot of calls from me like, hey, this is Kurt calling collect from Knoxville.
Here's the thing. These days, that's, you're just considered a dick if you do that. You know, because here's what you're saying. You're saying, I have the power over my time. You don't get any power over me whatsoever.
That's right,
bitch. I get to be the dick in every conversation. And I know how I have felt when I have hung up from you and said, oh, I needed to add something else and I couldn't get a hold of you for another half a day. And I was like, ugh.
Well, that's probably because you were calling me. See, I'm definitely more text friendly.
No, you're not texting. No. See, and I played this game with you too. You are not text friendly.
Sure, I am.
No, you're not. You're terrible.
How many times have I texted you and you don't get a hold of me until like 24 to 48 hours? Like, how many times has that happened?
Well, I misplaced my phone.
No. You don't understand.
Sometimes I can't find my phone. I don't know where my phone is.
The basic problem of this is that you are a dick.
I think I'm just forgetful. I don't know where my phone is.
No,
I don't charge my phone either. I forget to
how
charge
many years
it.
I've heard all this from you. You're a dick. No.
Actually, I don't really disagree with you. But I don't know. Dick might be a little strong. Maybe just like antisocial or just not friendly or maybe a douchebag sometimes. But dick, I don't know if that's a little much. But no. Actually, I do kind of. I leave my phone sometimes. Like if I go for, let's say, my kids and I would go for a walk. I'll just leave my phone charging and I'll leave the house for a while. It's kind of nice to separate myself sometimes. Just saying. But I do get back to text messages faster than I do emails for sure.
So 2 days 2 days as
Facebook.
Opposed to a week?
Well, I don't do Facebook really, so you can't really blame me for not being on Facebook. I don't really do Twitter. So really the only things I do are emails and phone calls and text messages. That's it. This is actually kind of a fun conversation. So here's what we should do. I'll get a beeper. And you beat me.
How does that gonna improve things? Yeah. Wait a minute. Wait. So, what you're saying is that to improve your communication between you and me, to improve the communication, you're saying that a beeper would improve that situation.
Maybe not. Maybe. Do they still do telegrams? Because you're sure to get that, right? I mean, they have to hand that to you, don't they? Doesn't the Pony Express have to make sure it's in your hand before they walk off?
Like I would know. Pony Express. Yes, really. You know what would improve my communication in the world would be Pony Express. But the thing is Pony Express only moved from Denver, from the Denver area. West, right? So I wouldn't be included in that. See?
Okay, maybe Wells Fargo or something. I don't know.
Yeah, gotcha. If you feel like you're being attacked.
Oh wait, how about carrier pigeon? Well, anyway, you should feel honored because I do get back to you within 12 hours.
Kurt! Yes, exactly.
No, you should feel honored because I do get back to you within 24 hours. Actually, I think I get back to you within 12 usually, but now that we're on almost the same
almost
time zone, it's easier. Because when I was in Washington, I'm sure it was a lot harder.
In pure honesty, I could probably drive 90% of the time, I could drive to Knoxville from Nashville. I could drive before I would get to your house and assault you before I would get a reply in the general sense
Probably.
of a text message.
But if you assault me, I probably won't be able to speak.
There's probably advantages to that as well.
Wow.
Did you rate this film? This series?
I think I gave it like 3 point. Yeah, I was at 3.6. Yeah, pretty.
Oh, I was at
strong
3.8.
Yes.
Why are we here then? What?
I don't know, because we're having a fun conversation about communication.
Oh, is that what that?
And by the way, I was a communications major in school.
I know the irony does not escape.
Well, I've worked at radio stations, TV stations, and even films now, where nobody communicates at will at all. But anyway.
Okay. Anyway, hey, wait. You're breaking up.